Welcome back to Plastic Surgery News. The recent death of former singer and choreography sensation Michael Jackson has led to a media feeding frenzy on every facet of the King of Pop, including his private life, his public performance, and his controversial final years. One of those facets, of course, is Jackson's long and well-documented history of facial cosmetic surgery. And now doctors are declaring that the pop star was an extreme and ultimately inappropriate example of what plastic surgery can do. Despite his radical change of appearance that began in the mid-1980s, Jackson admitted to very little cosmetic surgery, claiming he'd only had 2 nose jobs. But Los Angeles surgeon Wallace Goodstein, who worked alongside Jackson's main surgeon, said during a recent interview that Jackson underwent 10 to 12 surgeries in the span of 2 years. During that time, Goodstein was witness to many nose jobs, plus eyelid surgery, cheek implants, and chin alteration. The general consensus is that Jackson had so much surgery in the 1990s that rather than improve his appearance, it ultimately took a major toll on his face, especially his nose, which suffered severe loss of cartilage. We asked board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Brett Snyder for his thoughts on Jackson's numerous procedures.
Unfortunately, Michael Jackson has become somewhat of a poster child for plastic surgery. His name comes up all the time during consultations. Patients express fears that somehow their plastic surgery may lead to something like Michael Jackson's. I'm afraid his is an unfortunate story of what sometimes happens when a wealthy celebrity becomes obsessed by their physical appearance, and surgeons were unfortunately all too happy to acquiesce to his demands for surgery. I'm not aware of the exact nature and number of procedures that Michael Jackson had, but it's very clear to all of us that he had multiple operations and that these operations were done far in excess of what was reasonably appropriate. This is not a reflection of what plastic surgery does for patients every day, and it also doesn't mean that if you start having plastic surgery that you're going to end up on the same slippery slope that Michael Jackson did. Let Michael Jackson's example stand simply as a warning that, as with all things, excesses in plastic surgery generally leads to unnatural appearances.
Near the end of his life, Jackson reportedly sought help from dermatologist Arnold Klein, who told Larry King in a recent interview that he basically rebuilt the singer's nose by injecting it with hyaluronic fillers. Jackson also was rumored to have bleached his skin to make it look lighter, but he was actually affected by a natural skin condition called vitiligo, which destroys the skin's pigment and creates white patches. Here, Klein had also been enlisted for help. He said that when certain drug and light treatments failed to work, he was able to administer creams that evened out the skin tone but made Jackson appear very pale. This, plus many facial surgeries, left him an appearance deemed bizarre by most of the public. In the final analysis, the famous entertainer and infamous personality certainly didn't try to become white by lightening his skin, although many doctors do say that he suffered from body dysmorphic disorder and was never satisfied with his appearance.